Namaste, Abby. Tapai lai kostocha. I hope I got that right, Abby, and thanks for submitting that one. Salut, Cheyenne. Ça va? That was easier. Thanks, Cheyenne, for submitting that one as well. In this video, we will find out whether the PS5 is an imposter or a crewmate. In other words, is this console the one to keep you company, to perform the tasks and stay true to the end, or is the PS5 an imposter disguised as a next-gen console? If you're not familiar with Among Us, I'm sorry, it's a game where you get to run around the spaceship with about 10 people trying to complete some tasks and figuring out who the imposter is before the imposter kills everyone. It's fun for all ages. As a typical crewmate, how does the PS5 go about its tasks? I think the PS5 is brilliant at that vibrant 4K HDR gaming experience, 120 frames per second and 120 Hz refresh rate. Some of this, of course, you need to go into the PS5 settings, and as well as having the right telly that can support 4K and the high frame rates, some games like Call of Duty still require you to make those changes in the game settings itself. The other task I think the PS5 is great at is sound quality. I know it hasn't got Dolby Vision or Atmos, but it's still pretty amazing. I'm not even wearing the latest PS5 headphones and I can still tell how much crispier everything sounds. All the games feel that extra notch more immersive, to the point that even a noob like me, who hasn't played Call of Duty for at least 5 years, can pick it up now and enjoy the gaming experience. It's been really good fun playing that game. Other tasks that I think the PS5 is brilliant at is the controller rattle. I mean, the haptics. The sound quality coming out of the speakers itself here on the controller, it's not too bad if you're not wearing headphones and you're just wanting, a chat with your friends while you're playing the game. It's not the most fantastic quality, and the battery life on the controller isn't too bad at all. I mean, I've been playing regularly and I've only needed to charge every 2 to 3 days, depending on how much I play, of course. Another task that I think the PS5 does really well is the new UI, the new user interface. It's really great, it's really easy to navigate. It takes a couple of days to get used to, because remember, for the last few years, if you've been playing on the PlayStation 4 or PS4 Pro, that UI has been going on for so long, right? We got used to it quite a bit. So it is a little bit different, but it's actually a lot better. Talking about load times, right? It's not something that you think, oh my gosh, it's really amazing. And I know the Xbox has that live pause or whatever they call it, that it makes it, within 20 seconds to load a game. It's not that fast. But in comparison to the PS4, I wouldn't have said they halved it, but they massively reduced it. A quick experiment here to show the loading times for the Call of Duty on PS4 and the PS5. So we can really see here that fast SSD performance coming into play here. Right, ray tracing. Sounds like a marketing fluff term, right? But it's actually pretty good. I mean, there's a fidelity mode and performance mode that you can set into some games, like the Miles Morales game. The official blurb is, immerse yourself in worlds with a new level of realism and rays of light that are individually simulated, creating true-to-life shadows and reflections in supported PS5 games. Now, in English, what that means is you're going to see some reflections. And in some games, that there aren't that many next-gen games out yet, and that amazing quality that you normally only get in high-performance PC games with really expensive graphic cards. So now you should be able to experience that on the PS5. Yeah, so you can see some reflections and beams of light. Next. Look, I don't mean to dismiss that. It's those sort of improvements that bring the console performance closer to a souped-up gaming PC, and we shouldn't take it for granted, really. It's just probably not enough next-gen games, as I said, for us to really experience that ray tracing. Okay, so all of these are great things, but what are the sus aspects of the PS5? Well, in my view, the PS5 is not so good at these tasks. Storage is not such a great deal for me, as I said in my previous PS5 video, and is not a unique issue to the PlayStation. We only get a couple of 100 gig more with the Xbox Series X, but Xbox does already support expansion cards. Expensive, but they do support it. But for serious gamers, this could become an issue. It says on the box that you've got 825 gig, but it's actually about 650 by the time you take the operating system itself. To put that in a real world context, what that means is we're talking 5 or 6 Call of Duty sized games. Now these are massive games though, we're talking over 100 gig. And here's some other games to give you an idea of the size, and the source here is The Verge. So Spider-Man, for example, is 50 gig, Demon's Souls is 66 gig, Call of Duty, as I said, the Cold War game, is 133 gig. That's a beast of a game. But all is not lost, as Sony promises to enable storage extensions in future. So hopefully that means we can plug this SSD storage of 1 terabyte or 2 terabytes and forget about it. Guys, sorry to interrupt, I'll be very quick. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, just so you know, there's lots more content coming up. I've got the iPhone 12 Pro Max review coming up 1 month on. Got lots of accessories, for example, cases, wallets and things like that for the iPhone 12 Pro Max. So have a browse around. If you do like my stuff, it would be fantastic if you could subscribe. Right, let's crack on. Now, some people say there's limited backwards compatibility. I reckon that's not quite true. I mean, there's so many games that you can play on, that you used to play on the PS4, you can still play on the PS5. And I think that's something in there that's actually improved those games. Now, when it comes to size, I think it's a preference thing. It is over here. Yeah, it's big, but it's actually not that bad. I mean, yeah, you just need to find a good spot for it. I don't really think it's a big deal, to be honest. Depending on your space, and it could become a little bit of a centerpiece as well, right? I really like the modern look. There's lines, this stormtrooper-like color scheme as well. It's just very unique and modern looking. There's of course the digital version, which is black. And there are many options out there for you to get it customized. D-Brand and others, you can kind of put a skin on it, and I think they'll be giving you even more options to maybe put some, I don't know, carbon fiber or matte black or red, whatever you want to do it. Let's talk about venting. It is kind of sus, or the noise it generates. It does vent, but not really a lot. Yes, I know it's winter time over here, and I don't really have it inside a closed cabinet, but I've had a few hours sessions non-stop with everything turned on to the max in every single game, and it just kept going. I don't really notice it at all. And as I said it before, I don't really think it matters that much anyway. The only time this will matter is when you're streaming your games, and of course that fan noise may come into play when you're streaming, but that would be the same with any console or most gaming PCs as well. For me, it's a small price that you pay for such a fantastic performance. What is not the same as a gaming PC is the controller. So the controller, as I said, is fantastic, and it does rattle. I absolutely love this thing, and the more I use, the more I enjoy it. But in the context of noise, when you're playing something like Call of Duty, it's probably the worst case scenario because you're constantly firing, or in my case, being fired at. Okay, so after 2 weeks of regular use, playing different types of games, here's what I think so far. And there's a bit of an unsung hero here, or should I say, Crewmate. You could compare this feature with that crewmate that always got your back on the voting, that's always doing the tasks. This feature is the backward compatibility. I think it's great to play your old favorites. And there's a little bit of an upscaling as well, so they just play better in this console. It's not a new thing because you could do that before. Maybe it's not just the visuals, but the whole experience of speed, the new control, the new sound. So the final thoughts for me, there are loads of new games that haven't been announced yet that I'm really looking forward to. So some are classics that I loved before, like Hitman, and some new ones that look really, really good. So it's probably still early days to judge the full potential of this console. It certainly promises to be really great. Here are some of the games that have just been announced. And much like Among Us, it's been fun. Which, when I go back to what is important about gaming, in my view, ultimately is about having fun. In a year where we've had so much crap thrown at us, it is nice to have a lovely crewmate among us. And I'll see you in the next one.